and welcome to Art Bytes, short encounters with the collection at the Marianna Kistler Beach Museum of Art. My name is Emma Kellogg. I'm a gallery teacher here at the museum, and today we're going to be discussing Louise Bourgeois and her print titled Boxwoods, which we have in our collection here at the museum. Louise Bourgeois is a Franco-American artist born in Paris, December 25th, 1911. The genre of her work is based largely in surrealism, and she also explored feminism, the human form, femininity and masculinity, her familial ties, and her childhood. Her subject matters were often dark yet comical, which ties in well with her dark sense of humor and her courage to talk about things that weren't always easy to say. Her work covers a vast array of styles and artistic media. She made many prints and became internationally renowned for her sculptures, in particular her towering bronze spider sculptures, which she referred to as maman in honor of her mother. According to Bourgeois, this spider honors her mother. Spiders reminded Bourgeois of her mother because she saw her as a protective force, in the same way that spiders quietly keep mosquitoes away. Her mother was also a weaver, so the spider's web was symbolic to her as well. Her journey in printmaking was more sporadic than that of her sculpture, as she was prolific in her prints up until she took a long break from it to pursue other artistic media during her first decade in New York in the 1940s until the 1970s when she took up printmaking again. She taught a few classes at the School of Visual Arts after her husband died. At this time, she wanted another creative and intellectual outlet. Pictured here are a few of the prints Bourgeois created after her return to printmaking. You can see her explorations of femininity and the female form in Femme Maison and Stamp of Memories. Bourgeois spoke about her experience with motherhood, womanhood, and being a wife, recalling at times a sense of helplessness in her reliance on others, in particular pointing out a reality of women's reliance on men within the confines of our society. In contrast to this feeling of helplessness is another theme throughout Bourgeois' work of finding balance and stability, which she often represents through trees, such as her print shown here on the right. Another example of this concept of strength and stability is Bourgeois' print Boxwoods, the print that we have in our collection at the museum. She made this print in 1945, long before her hiatus from printmaking. In this print is a shaped boxwood tree. It is largely symmetrical, which follows this theme of balance. Bourgeois started depicting these trees in her work out of homesickness in the 40s when she had left her home in France and immigrated to America. This homesickness was especially powerful during the war, during which she could not even get letters back home to her family. She is quoted saying, "When one feels lonely, one can befriend a boxwood. It is a friend that one can create, change, and manipulate." She believes a similar impulse led her to create wooden sculptures later in the 40s. Bourgeois talks about how during her childhood she fell a lot and was teased for constantly having bandages on her knees. The concept of physical support and emotional support blend together in Bourgeois' work, as the Boxwoods provide emotional support to Bourgeois during her loneliest times and are also very structurally sound, like the other trees that she depicts. Bourgeois' work always seems to come from a place of deep emotion. Lastly, I would like to leave you with a quote from Deborah Y. in The Drama of the Self, Louise Bourgeois as Printmaker. For Louise Bourgeois, art is a tool or strategy that provides both emotional release and a greater understanding of herself and her surroundings. Most often, it exercises thoughts or moods that menace her, but it also expresses feelings of pleasure, warmth, and humor. This approach reflects a combination of will, intelligence, and artistic sensitivity that has been forged to harness strong emotions. Thank you for joining us today for Art Bytes.